so yummy. This is so yummy. It should be illegal. What's up, guys?
And like the video and subscribe.
Like the video and subscribe. So today we're gonna be making bread pudding. It's gonna be amazing. Don't be alarmed. There's a lot of butter, a lot of sugar. Bad for the heart, great for the soul. It's gonna be amazing. Let's get to it. 3 apples. Let's go ahead and let's peel these guys. Now don't be afraid to use whatever sort of apples you guys like. We use these 2 regular little Gala apples, and this one was a green apple. I'm not sure if it's a Granny Smith or whatever, but this guy right here is gonna add like a lot of tang at the very end of your, you know, it depends on your palate. If you like it, use it. If you don't use it. It's fine. I'm gonna core this guy. Well, not really core it. Just gonna cut it into nice little pieces. Try to stay away from the core. And of course, there is gonna be some in there, but we're gonna chop it all into nice little bits. So after we get everything in here, we're gonna go and throw like a tablespoon and a half-ish of butter and a tablespoon of granulated sugar. Just toss that in there. Let's get this thing on the stove, see how it goes. All right, it's on the stove. It's good. All right, so we're gonna open this guy up. Now just be careful because sugars like to burn. So give it a nice little stir. All right, and like you guys kind of want to do this relatively quickly because if I would have left these apples out longer, they would have started turning gray, like reddish gray. There's a way to get around that, just throw in a little bit of lemon juice. Don't stop doing that. But, you know, just work this guy around for a little bit. It'll come around. You'll see what I mean here shortly. And if you look right here, that's the size of flames you want. Very low. Nice. And you can tell when you're doing pretty good because you can already smell the sweetness of the apple coming through. We're just going to keep an eye on this for a couple minutes. Alright guys, whenever it gets to this consistency, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to throw in 1 tablespoon right here, just a normal little spoonful of brown sugar. And then also we're going to be throwing in just a couple little dashes of cinnamon. And that's it. We're just going to mix this guy up. What we're looking for in the consistency of this thing is where you can kind of squish it, not all the way, but squish it just enough with this thing where it gives all the way through. Like on some of these pieces, I can just cut right through them with the spatula. You want it to kind of look like this, almost like apple pie filling. Very loose, but it's good stuff. So now that we finished with the apples, that's all good to go. What we need to do is get all our wet ingredients all set up. Well, not really wet, because this guy's not wet. So we're gonna take 4 eggs, get this guy into a large bowl. We're gonna take 3/4 cup of milk, get that in here. We're also gonna get 1/2 cup of sugar. This is where it's bad for the heart, but good for the soul. And just a little bit of vanilla. I would say maybe like a little splash. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna go ahead and mix all this up, and then we're gonna get the bread ready and get everything going. If you want to be fancy, everybody wants to be fancy. Throw a little bit of lemon zest in there. Just make sure you rotate the lemon. Nobody wants like that white stuff in there. Just, you know, go around there, get a couple little pieces in. You're gonna be all set. A little more. Bam! All right. Give it a little mix, and we're off to the bread. All right, so once you got everything already set, this is where it goes to the bread. Now, it's not all that important whatever bread you like. Me, preferably, I like using brioche, but H-E-B didn't have it right now. So what we have is butter bread. Works just as good. It's kind of like we're making a big old French toast, but with a twist. Now with this guy here, all you're gonna do is just go through here, just rough it. Nothing has to be perfect. It's all gonna get kind of mixed up anyways. Just get your pieces of bread, just shred them however, If you want to be a weirdo, it's cool. Just go ahead and start cutting it. Use a knife. It's fine. Doesn't hurt my feelings. If you're all about the right angles. Me, it's cool. Let's go ahead and just give it some little rips here. Start filling up the bottom of this guy here. Alright. So once it gets up to this size, this is kind of what you're looking for. You want it to look nice and uniform all the way through here, almost up to the top. Nice and squishy. Now don't push down on it. We need it to kind of absorb all this egg mixture. So once you get it like this, we're going to take that apple mixture and we're going to plop all that right here. Guys, don't be scared. It's alright. Use your fingers. It's not going to hurt anything. Get in there. Alright. Throw a little bit of love in this thing. Alright, yay. Some apples on top, some on the bottom. Oh, you know what? Pecans. Delicious. I'm going to throw that in there too. Who doesn't like pecans, right? Toss a couple of these guys in there. So we got a little bit of pecans. We're going to throw a little bit more in here just to make it nice and even. Now this is the important part, butter. Butter is what makes this thing delicious. So we're just going to go ahead and come through here and just gently go all the way through this guy. Throw that butter in there. Nice and even. Then some of these guys just soak it in. Just go all the way around it. That butter's going to soak in here, so you guys are going to have some really nice and savory little pieces in there. It's going to be amazing. Get that. Alright, now the egg mixture. Just going to get this. Typically, you just want to start at one spot in the middle, work your way around, just gently coming through. You want all this bread to suck all this up. And it's going to. It's going to look kind of springy. Still, we're going to go through before we throw this thing in the oven. By the way, guys, 375. It's amazing. 375, 30-35 minutes, depending on your oven. Just going to come through here, get all this up. Bam. So after we got everything in there, we got the eggs, we got the sugar, we got all that stuff, we got the apples and the pecans. We're just going to come through here, kind of squish down the corners a little bit. Anything that looks dry, don't worry too much about it because we're going to be taking care of that right now. We just want to make sure that all this is kind of stay intact and not separate when it's baking. Just get it nice and easy. Come through here. This is half a cup of cream, heavy cream. So anything that looks dry, you just want to get through there with a little bit of heavy cream and we'll take care of that. Last but not least, brown sugar. Come through here, sprinkle a little bit on the top here and there. These are going to be like the rich little crisps at the top. I guarantee you this thing is going to be amazing. $375, 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven. Just check it around the 25-minute mark. You'll figure it out from there.
Bye.
35 minutes. See it in a little bit. We're gonna make a sauce. Doesn't need a sauce, but it kind of does need this sauce. It's amazing. 3 teaspoons cornstarch, half a cup of sugar, because you know that's how we do it. 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 cups of heavy cream. What we're going to do first, we're going to combine cornstarch and sugar. Now just mix it just to where it feels like everything's kind of in there. If it's a little lumpy, don't worry. It'll work itself out in the sauce. It's a nice little rough mix of this guy here. Now we're going that way. 3 tablespoons of butter. Pop this guy in here. Let's turn the saucepan on. We'll get this going. We're waiting for the butter. Let's get that cream in there. So this is the consistency that you want. We're going to go through here, and you're going to see that it coats the back of the spoon. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Right now, we're just going to be throwing in a little bit of rum, a little bit of vanilla extract. Now, while this thing is cooling, continue to mix it. It's going to thicken up because of all that cornstarch in there. Tastes delicious. The sauce is done. We're gonna let this cool for a couple hours, just so it gets, it's not too hot. Bread pudding, it's got a couple more minutes to it. It's looking gorgeous in the oven. Now, guys, I know you're gonna be tempted to taste this thing when it first comes out of the oven. Don't do it. Give it a little bit of time. All right. We'll be back to you when it's time to eat. Maybe like an hour and a half. When it comes out, let it rest. Everybody needs to relax for a little bit. See you back in a little bit. We're back. It's finally done. It looks amazing and delicious. I can't wait any longer. I'm gonna go ahead and get a big old scoop of this. As you can see, this thing came out tremendous. It looks scrumdiddlyumptious, very yummy. I can't wait any longer. I'm just gonna dig right in. Oh, dude. Oh yeah. Look at that, look at that. Oh yeah. The apples are perfect. The seasoning on this is amazing. You guys need to try this at home. It's delicious. If you have diabetes, skip over the video. This is awesome. You're gonna enjoy it. Thanks for watching.
And subscribe. It did taste really good. It's really good. You need to pause your video and try to make it.